So I want to do a quick video on duckweeds, and I know for some people it's a pest. If you get in your tank, you're very concerned about not being able to get rid of it. But for people who have duckweed but have never heard of this, I've actually show you here a way for you to turn duckweed into actual food for your fish. And this type of food, although live duckweed is great for goldfish and many other types of carps and koi's and all that, they'll eat that all up live and fresh. But there are other critters that will eat it if you dry it. I think one of the best examples is to actually feed this to my shrimps in my shrimp tank. Crayfish also like this stuff. I found some cichlids will like it, but in general, the cichlids tend to be a lot bigger, so the dry duckweed flakes don't really last them as long as, say, compared to shrimps or crayfish. And just so you know, if you're buying algae wafers, although you may think that algae wafers is all algae or it's plant-based, it's actually not. There are mixed proteins in there that may include other kind of recycled animals like, fish meal, shrimp meal, and all that. So you can actually see that it's not 100% vegetable based. I mean, for most of your critters, they do need that protein, but what I am showing you that you can make here is a duckweed that is an actual 100% vegetable based snack that you can give to your critters. Definitely, they will because they're dry. They will rehydrate when you put it in the tank. It won't necessarily float all the way down to the substrate because most likely, if you have a lot of shrimp, they're going to eat it all before it even gets down there. So it is a very tasty snack for your shrimps, and it's a great way for them to get their veggies. So what you do is that you're going to scoop out your duckweed with a net. A small net will be probably the best. In any of the tanks in which you have an issue with duckweed kind of overgrowing, scoop it up with a net, and then while it's in the net, squeeze the net so that all the water comes out back into the tank. You do not want to go into the next stage with it really, really soaked. Okay, so once you've taken that duckweed, wringed it out, then you're gonna put it on some plastic wrap. And you're gonna push it all off the net and into a pile, and then you can either fold up the pile or do whatever you need to flatten that mass of duckweed. And then what you're gonna do next, which is important because it's I know some people are really paranoid about duckweed contaminating from one tank to another, so the way we stop that from happening is to actually freeze it. So if you were to just air dry it and then not really completely kill the plant, it may still live, and then it can actually grow back in the tank when you submerge it. So this way, if you put it in the freezer, so you have this kind of little plastic wrap package. Put it in the freezer for maybe the most 3 hours, but it's certainly able for you to do it overnight. And then take it out, and then unwrap the package. It'll still be moist, But what you confirmed, at least from taking out the freezer, is that all of the duckweed is actually dead. So it will not grow back. And then you can then let it sit on a windowsill that has some bright light on it, and it'll take probably a couple hours, a day the most, to completely dry out. And what you will get are flakes, duckweed flakes. So essentially, if you eat sushi and you've ever had the nori strips, these are very similar in texture. I wouldn't suggest trying to eat this stuff yourself, but the texture is very similar. You can leave the strip that you create as big or as small, but generally what I like to do is to put them into reasonably sized strips that can then fit into a container where I can store them. When I create one batch, it could usually be used to feed about 2 to 3 weeks worth as snacks. I don't ever take one batch and just dump it all in the tank, because that may be way too much food in addition to their normal pellets that they may be getting. And this stuff lasts pretty long if you keep it in airtight container in which it's not going to get moist. You're not going to have any mold or smells from this, and you would treat it just like any type of dried herbs. So definitely, if you've never tried it, take a try, and you'll create a very tasty vegetable based snack for your shrimps, crayfish, and any other smaller critters that are more herbivores. Okay, so if you have any questions about this, definitely feel free to leave a comment. But definitely subscribe this video, subscribe to the channel, and also if you have any ideas of your own that you think I should try out and experiment, I'll definitely will do that. And probably in a future video, I'll show you how I throw in these wonderful duckweed flakes as a snack, so you can see how they really go at it. So I'll talk to you guys soon.